The Census at School project is a project where students from around the world have entered data about themselves. This data was created to allow those same students and students like them to explore large data sets and build data analysis skills. We're going to learn how to access their data. We're going to learn how to get into Google Sheets. We're going to learn how to clean that data up so that it's useful, and we're going to graph large amounts of data. Let's take a look at how to get their data. We're going to go to Random Sampler, and here we can choose our sample size, one state or many states. I'm going to choose Nevada. Grades, you can choose multiple grades. Genders, you can select that. And data collection year, I'm going to select all. This might happen where your selection doesn't return any results. That's okay. Try expanding it, try adding more things to it. I'm going to change from Nevada to California, but I'm going to leave everything else the same. 8th grade, all genders, all years. Then we're going to click Download Data. Once we have the data downloaded, we're going to go to our Google Drive and drag it in. Once it's in there, we can open it. But it's going to look a little weird because this isn't a Google Sheets format. We can see all of our data, but we can't edit it. We need to click Open in Google Sheets. Once you have it open in Google Sheets, now we can try doing some graphing. I'm going to do a pretty boring question. I'm going to be asking this data, hey, is there a relationship between someone's height in centimeters and how big their feet are in centimeters? I can select which two columns I want to graph together by clicking the H, holding the Control key, and then clicking the other column up here at the top. Then I click Insert Chart, and I'll get a chart. This chart is going to be based off Google's best guess and might not be useful. A line chart is not really appropriate here. So instead, I'm going to go to a scatter plot. But this doesn't look anything useful. I've got one up here and then a bunch of other things. The reason for this is there is bad data in there. Students did not take it seriously and they entered garbage. We can see someone is claiming that they have a height of nearly 10,000 centimeters. So I'm going to get rid of that. This happens with any data set. When you're gathering data, you're going to get some bad data. So we have to figure out a way to eliminate that. I'm going to start off by freezing this row right here. I can do that by clicking the 1 and going up to View, Freeze, 1 row. The reason why I do this is that allows me then to scroll down while leaving these labels at the top. This is super useful. That also lets me, when I right-click and say Sort Sheet A to Z, which is a descending order, keep those labels at the top. Otherwise, foot_CM would have been alphabetized along with everything else entered in here. We can see that we have some very small numbers here. The way I've decided to clean up this data is I'm looking for where the numbers seem to go and be mostly at. If I have a whole lot of 20s, those probably are legitimate. But if I only have 2 5s, or a big jump from 1 to 5, and then only a couple of these, those probably aren't legitimate. I'm going to err on the side of getting rid of some good data by getting rid of everything less than 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters is 4 inches. Is it possible that someone in 8th grade has 4-inch feet? Possible. But it's unlikely. But I'm going to get rid of everything smaller than that. I can click over here on our numbers, hold Shift, and select all the rows I want to remove, right-click, and delete those rows. All right, I've now gotten rid of any ridiculously small foot length. But I need to do the opposite. I probably have some ridiculously large foot lengths. Again, I'm looking at the data and looking for where there is a sudden jump. I've got lots of people in the 20s, some people into the 30s, 38, and then 40, then a jump of 4 centimeters to 44, another jump to 45, a massive jump to 71. I'm going to say everything above 38 probably isn't real. So again, I'm going to left click over here in our row number, scroll down till I have all the data that I want to get rid of. I've got some blanks, that's okay. There's nothing useful there for me right now. Right click and say delete rows. I have now sanitized my foot length. It's no longer got ridiculously large or ridiculously small numbers. I now need to do the same for height. I will right click the row or the column and I will sort in a descending order. You could do it ascending, Z to A, but again, I'm looking for those ridiculous outliers. Here we have a bunch of people in the 50s, and then it goes from 51 to 17 to 14. That to me says that data is bogus. I'm going to select that data, right click, and delete rows. Down at the other side, I'm going to scroll. We're seeing lots of 160s, 170s, 180s, some 190s, and then 243. That is, again, a massive jump and probably bogus data. I'm going to get rid of everything above that, and I'm left with cleaned up data. If I try my graph again, height, and then I hold control and foot length, I click my insert chart, we have what appears to be a really nice line. However, I still believe the scatter plot is better for this. And here we are. I have so much data, in fact, that my dots have turned into a line. That is everything you need to know for how to get the data from Census at School, get it into Google Docs, clean it up, and then make a graph from those very large data sets.